Okay, so I'm going to show you how to use Paperspace and ModelSpace for plotting. And this is after we have created our title block. So here we go. So the first thing is in ModelSpace, okay, and you know you're in ModelSpace when right down here in the very bottom it says the word model. Okay, that means you're in ModelSpace. The drawing is on here, my front, right, and top view, and I need to add these notes. These notes are on the text layer. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out here, and we'll just show this to you right now. So this is all set up. Now, on the bottom, you're going to see a tab that says Model, and then to the right of that, yours is going to say Layout 1. Mine says Bracket, and here's the reason why. I've created my drawing on a title block now with this tab named Bracket. To the right of that is a little plus sign, so I'm going to click on that, and now you're going to see the word Layout. So ordinarily you would have Layout here. I just had changed the name to Bracket, okay? I'm going to right click on that and select rename, and I want you to do this also. You're going to name this with whatever the part name is that you are working on. So I'm working on, and remember everything's in uppercase here, Bracket, but I'm going to name mine too. You can just leave yours as Bracket, okay? And I'm going to delete this. Okay, so let's talk about this for a second. I've already used the terms a little bit. Two terms you're going to need to know here are ModelSpace and Paperspace. In AutoCAD world, those are two different realms, okay? Paperspace is what things get printed on, basically. And ModelSpace is the actual creation of your part. Now, I know right now I'm in Paperspace, and there's a couple different ways. One, I can look over here and see the word paper. I can look over here and I can see this icon. It looks like a 30, 60, 90 triangle. And there's one other way. Well, that'll come up as we go. So right now I'm going to go to my bracket part that I'm creating, and I'm going to double click on that. Just to, whoops, I double clicked on it just to make sure I got there. And you're going to get something like this, and it looks like a black, mine looks like a black box, yours may be white, and it's got an inner border on it, okay? The inner border is what's called the Paperspace window. The Paperspace, I know again I'm in Paperspace because I've got paper right down here. The first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on that, and oh, I skipped a step here. I got to go down to the bracket tab and right click and say Page Setup Manager. Then I'm going to click on Modify. Now, the title block that we created is 36 by 24, which is a D size architectural D size. Up here, we're going to start with plotter. So I'm going to click on what's my home plotter, and in general I like to do this. I'm going to click on the AutoCAD PDF high quality print as my printer. I like to print the PDFs and then print the PDFs to the plotter. Plotter, by the way, is that $5 word that means print. But I'm going to do this sequence because it seems to give me better results and less troublesome. All right, paper size. I'm going to click down here. I'm going to get the paper size, and I'm going to get, and there's about 15 different Arch Ds, and that's architectural D, 24 by 36 inches, and I'm going to highlight that one. And then I've got what the plot is, layout, and I'm just going to hit preview, and it's going to show me this. So the white space here now is 36 inches long and 24 inches tall. This box is still my my Paperspace boundary box. And I'm going to say OK and close. Okay, now this is where I am going to click on this box and I'm going to pull it out. Come on, you. What the heck? I want to get this. Yeah, I want to go up here with this. And then down here, I'm going to go past here. And is all I've done is I've just gone out past the boundaries of the paper with my paper space, which is okay. Now, the reason I did that is I have this dashed line all the way around here. This is actually the margins of my printer. So I cannot put my title block or anything else inside or outside of those margins. So I've just taken a sheet of paper and just laid it on top of this thing, and it's nice and huge. Okay, now we're going to put in our title block. So I'm going to go to the Insert tab. I'm going to click Insert, Recent Blocks, and here is my title block. I'm just going to click and drag this in, and I want to make sure that the title block is just inside of these boundaries. If I want, I'll use a grip here. Oops, it's the wrong one. I just want to move this. There we go. Move it out here just a little bit closer. Makes it as big as I possibly can get it. Okay. So when I take a look at this, I can see that my title block up here is exceeding my dashed printing area. So I don't want that. So I'm going to click on my title block and I'll get the grip. And I'm going to use the space bar key until I get to scale. And once I get to scale, I'm just going to watch my right hand edge of the title block, make sure it stays inside of my dashed box, and I'm going to left click. I'll push escape a couple times, and that has put my title block onto my paper space. You got to make sure you're on paper space when you do this. I'll close this out now. I don't need this anymore. Okay, so I'm in paper space. I'm going to type Z, enter, A, enter. Whoops, not working. Z, enter, A, enter. Try that again. Enter. Got it this time. Don't know why it wasn't working those first 3 times. But I got it. Okay. Now, excuse me. What I noticed is, or what I've noticed here, if you take a look, we'll look at this right now, since we're in paper space, you're going to see I don't have my drawing title in here. I don't have my last name. My scale isn't there. Date isn't there. None of that stuff. So what I'm going to do while I'm in paper space is I'm going to fix that. So where it says enter drawing title, this is where I'm going to type in my drawing name. So I don't know exactly what I did to skip this. I'm going to leave my scale at 1:1, by the way, and I'm going to change the date to 02/20 23. There we go. I got to put the slashes in. And I'll hit apply and say OK. And what you're going to notice is that this should change. Why didn't my last name come up as one of my selections? Well, okay. You can modify these things by double clicking on the title block when you're in paper space. So I'm going to hit Z and A for all, just so that I zoom out and can see the entirety of my title block. Now, I'm going to double click inside of this window. You can see I'm in Paperspace right here. I'm going to double click inside, and now I am in model space. And you know that because it says model space here, and also the cursor or the origin over here has turned to the standard X and Y value. Now, we have to change the scale, and the scale button is right down here, and you're going to have some wacky number. Mine's 0.224738, whatever. And the reason we use Paperspace is because we want to be able to control the printing of stuff. You can print things that are as small as the head of a pin, or as big as a traffic circle. Okay, so I'm going to type in the scale of 1 to 1, and I forgot to center this thing first, so I'm going to undo yet again. There we go. And I'm just going to pan this up to the middle here. Now I'm going to change my scale. I'm going to change my scale to 1 to 1. And then I can pan this around a little bit just to get it positioned nicely on my paper. If I want to move something, I can use the M0 tool. Whoops. Keep doing that. M is for move, and I can do this, and then I can just move this out. Hit F8 to change its position. All kinds of things going on here. Anyways, I can move these things around in here. So we want to make sure our scale is the same as the scale is down here. And while we're in model space, I'm just going to click on the little lock, and that's going to keep it so that I can't zoom in and out in model space. So I'm in model space. I can zoom, but it zooms the entirety of this thing. Okay, last thing to do here to turn this in is you need to print it. So I'm going to go to the printer icon or plotter icon. You're going to see that my AutoCAD PDF is already here. If it's not, you can change it to that. I'm going to make sure my paper size is 24 by 36, and I'm going to print the layout, and I'm going to use Preview. Please use Preview. It saves a lot of work printing wise, and that way you know that this thing's ready to go. Once I do that, I hit print, and it's going to ask me where I want to put this, and I will select a location, and then I'll take a look here again at my print, and this is good to turn in.